Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today, I want to share a little bit of news about the Brics nations. If you don't know who those are, I've been talking about them a lot, but they are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And I'm going to be adding another S today to that list because not a lot of not a South African news. The South African news is pretty light, but I'm going to go over a little bit of news about all five of them and talk about how these five major countries that are part of the G20, but not part of the G7, are all adopting cryptocurrency and how it's moving forward, and how central banks are they're avoiding them. They're avoiding the Swift system. They're using crypto a lot. Just share some adoption news that's going to be out there, some stories you may have missed. And at the end, I'm going to share a podcast that I'm going to be on. It's a podcast, YouTube channel as well. I think that they're going to share a short teaser on Saturday and the full episode on Sunday. So let's get right into it. So let's get started. Here we go. So first story. This is Brazil. I'm going to go in order. So Brazil. And I shared this on Instagram. PicPay, which is kind of like their PayPal or their Cash App, but this is another way that they have an online app, and they are offering cryptocurrency, much like Cash App offers Bitcoin. So PicPay is offering cryptocurrency services in Brazil for more than 60 million customers. The other version of this, I think I posted this on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, there's a lot of things I share there. 65 million customers is what I saw there. So PicPay is going to be an on-ramp and probably a fiat off-ramp as well for people to go get some Bitcoin in Brazil. So that's a big story for adoption there, and that's a lot of people are going to have exposure. So 65 million people, that's a lot. That's about 1/6 of the population of the United States, maybe 15% or so, somewhere around that. But it's a lot of people, and Brazil is one of the top 10 economies in the world. Now, moving on to the next story, and here's a little bit of Russian news. It's been a little bit light on the crypto side. Obviously, it's been impacted. A lot of Russian news has been focused on Ukraine and what's going on there, and sanctions and whatnot. But and I hope the Brazil banks of Russia are opposing private stablecoins. They're favoring the digital ruble, so they're pushing their own currency, digital ruble. And that leads to the next story with India, which is a big story that came out. I know Economic Ninja was talking about this. Rupee, the Indian government is pushing the rupee, and they want all international trade to go through rupees now instead of the dollars. They want to use they're trying to strengthen the rupee. The rupee is much like other foreign currencies right now. They're all going down against the dollar, and they want to strengthen their own currency so it can have more buying power. So they want all of their international trade to settle in rupees versus dollars or anything else. So they're pushing that, and that's going to help with Russia. So you get this isn't necessarily a crypto story, but it shows that India is tied with Russia, South Asia, Iran, other countries that are going outside the normal SWIFT system in the central bank system and all that. So there's a lot of activity going on that people aren't talking about. Now, we've talked about how China and there's bank runs in China. They're also looking to expand the deployment of the electronic version or the digital version of the Chinese nationalized yuan. So they are trying to push that, and it's all part of going digital, going to blockchain, going to more of a central bank approach. That's what they're going for their economy, but they're pushing for blockchain type deployment, trying to strengthen their own national currency. So again, they're doing international trade outside of that, and they're sure that they've already been working with Russia to buy oil, with the yuan and the ruble. So there's lots going on there. So now we've got BRINC. So now we go to the S. One more Chinese story. Here we go. Shanghai is a 5-year plan. It includes blockchain, NFTs, and Web3. So they're pushing strong for doing cryptocurrency, blockchain type developments. They're trying to lead the way, and they're trying to really strengthen their own economic system. Let's see. So now South Africa. I found a South African story. It was not easy to find one, but this was just yesterday. South Africa is trying to regulate crypto as a financial asset, rather than a currency, much like the regulations that the United States is pushing forth. So they're going to go the legislation, the regulation avenues, and they're pushing forward with this. They're trying to get crypto adoption as quickly as they can as well. Lastly, another S country. This is the Swiss post office. Now, this is the actual post office, much like, think of the United States post office. The Swiss post office is going to be making it available that you can custody crypto through the post office, which sounds really weird, but you can get Bitcoin and cryptocurrency through the Swiss post office. Not today, not tomorrow, but they're pushing for it, I think, for 2023. And then, okay, so that's a lot of the news about about the 5 major countries, or the 5 parts of Brics. And you can see that the adoption is really coming along. Let me drop out of this for a moment here. Well, let me just go through. I'm going to push forward. You don't need this. You've seen my face enough. So coming up this weekend is the Chopping with Fire show. And this is a new podcast, new to me, but these guys are growing rapidly. They're based out of Colorado. It's a 2-man crew that they're Jaden and Dustin are your hosts. They did a video last week. This is the one that they did. Well, this is their main page. It looks like they're small on YouTube, but they are bigger. They have over 10,000 followers through their podcast. And our own Derwin Logan, Open-Minded Bitcoin, was on the show last week. And through talking with him and just through our networks, he learned about it. And he did the show, did a great job on the show last week. And their rhythm is that they do a teaser video that comes out on Saturday. They already seen the preview of that. And then they do the full-length interview on Sunday. So that's going to come out on Sunday. Both Derwin and I were on the interview. It's mostly me talking because Derwin was on there last week. And we talked, and it's going to come out on Sunday. So I'll be sure to share that out on my social media, and I'll probably make it maybe a short video or something. But basically just going to highlight that, it's coming out, so be on the lookout for it. So I would go ahead and subscribe to these guys. But the nice thing about this is that I've been looking for opportunities let me drop out of here. I've been looking for opportunities to branch out beyond just this channel or channels that people already know about, because I'm trying to reach a broader audience. Like, you got to expand, you got to keep moving forward, and you've got to burst these bubbles that we're in and get to new audiences, because crypto adoption happens by reaching new people and going on these channels with talking about economics. That's why I frequent Economic Ninja channels. I follow Uneducated Economist. If you go and look at my watch history, I probably have like 200 or 300 different channels that I'm following, and I'll stop by. Sometimes I'll go to the Gold Bug channels with Lin Zhang, and I can't remember Chris's last name, but Arcadia. I can't remember, but there's some silver channels. There's some other financial channels. And of course I listen to like the bigger ones too, but you've got to branch out. You've got to and just have an opportunity to talk about crypto beyond the normal circle. That's the only way we're going to push adoption. And that's part of my job. So I just wanted to share some of the Brics news today. And I just want and let you know that, we had a great AMA last night. And I'll post a link hopefully up here, but you can find it on my other videos, and it's under the live ones. It's might be a little different to find it, but it was definitely, we did about almost an hour with Patrick, Divvy Daddy, and myself talking, and a lot of people dropped by, asked some good questions. We talked about CPI, we talked about Veritasium, we talked about various different things. So there's always something new and exciting moving forward to this channel and all the other channels that I associate with. But I just wanted to let you guys know some of the news you may not have seen. The adoption is coming along. I'll also share all the stuff below, of course. But I'm branching out, trying to get on other podcasts. And if you know of other podcasts that I should consider being on, or that if you have one, or if you know that there's a big one that talks economics and might be good for me to join, just let me know. I would love to see it in the comments, or drop a message along, various things, either through, probably the best way to reach me is through Patreon. And at the $5 level, it guarantees that you're going to reach me, and I will always respond back to on my Patreon. So, and you can subscribe for the year and get 10% off as well. That said, I just want to share that. That's probably going to be it for the weekend, but watch for that podcast that comes out this weekend, also on the YouTube, and hope to see you soon. So for all that said, I'm going to close the drawer in the bureau, say follow leader one more time. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.